Assistive Technologies, ADD and ADHD by Thomas Lowe, Aubrey Morris, and Courtney Johnson. ADD and ADHD, what's the difference? ADD, attention deficient disorder, and ADHD, which is attention deficient hyperactivity disorder. Diagnosis is made using psychiatric and behavioral guide called the Diagnostics and Statistical Manual, DSM. The first DSM in 1980 recommended a different diagnostics for ADD and ADHD. Later, versions of the DSM changed diagnostics to cover all symptoms as ADHD. What's the current DSM say? The most read recent volume, DSM-5, in 2013, identifies specific categories under ADHD including predominantly inattentive presentation, predominantly hyperactive impulsive presentation, and combined presentation. What is ADHD and what does ADHD look like? ADHD is a chronic condition marked by persistent inattention, hyperactivity, and sometimes impulsivity. Some signs of ADHD are easily distracted, forgetful in daily activities, loses things, avoids tasks requiring sustainable mental effort, fidgets and squirms around, as well as talking too much, trouble staying seated, and running restless. Boys and girls display very different ADHD symptoms. Boys' symptoms are obvious and external. Impulsivity, like acting out, hyperactivity, such as running and hitting, lack of focus, including inattentiveness, and physical aggression. Girl symptoms are less obvious and more internal, being withdrawn, low self-esteem and anxiety, impairment in attention that may lead to difficulty with academic achievement, inattentiveness or a tendency to daydream, and verbal aggression, teasing, taunting, or name-calling. Who can have ADHD? Age groups affected by ADHD are mostly children, but can persist in adults. World statistics, ADHD on a rise. From 2001 to 2010, the rate of ADHD among non-Hispanic Black girls increased by 90%. 9.8% were whites, 9.5% were Blacks, and 5.5% were Latinos. Types of assistive technology. Audio players and recorders read to the children when the children is unable to concentrate. Timers are used to help transition from task to task. Reading guides highlight text used to block out surrounding words to enhance focus. And writing supports aid students who think faster than type and help retention of information as well as their ability to write it down. Other forms of ADHD technology. Noise-canceling ear headphones or earplugs, talking computer keyboards, screen magnifiers, e-dictionary, alarm talking watches, and digital talking calculators.
The efficacy and outcomes for the usage of assistive technology for people with ADD and ADHD include predominantly an increased ability to focus for long durations of time, thus improving memory retention and reducing anxiety. This also has been shown to aid persons with educational development or disabilities. Here we are shown a graphical example of types of devices that are commonly purchased. The most popular is hearing-aided devices, which allow individuals to listen to the material at hand, therefore increasing their ability to focus and retain the information. The second most popular are vehicle modules, which also allow the individual to interact with the material. Listening or hearing modules for those with ADD and ADHD allow the individual to limit the distractions around them. They may see things around them, but they're hearing only the material that they're attempting to focus on. This increases their ability to read quickly and fluently, and also helps in comprehension of the material that they're listening to. Makes it easier for them to navigate and allows a multi-sensory learning experience. Some devices, such as the LiveScribe Smart Pen, allow students to take notes while recording a lecture or lesson that the teacher is speaking. They can then recall material that has been recorded on the pen by making contact with the scripted notes that they've taken. And they can store all of this within software on their mobile device or laptop to recall and practice later. The Chrome Link attachment, the Learning Alley, allows students to have over 8,000 audiobooks read out loud to them straight from their Chrome attachment on their laptop. The program also highlights the text that it is currently reading and allows the student to go back and have things read multiple times, therefore increasing memory retention and focus. Because those with ADD and ADHD have difficulty focusing on the task at hand, time trackers can be a great addition to any aspect of daily life for someone with this disorder. The colorful stoplight design in this time tracker timer allows the individual to see that their time is beginning to run up, and then gives them a signal that the task at hand should be completed and they are to move on to the next task. There's been a great deal of research done on the efficacy of the usage of assistive technologies for persons with ADD and ADHD. One such study was compiled and performed in Lombardy, Italy in 2012. A sample of 1,223 students attending public schools were broken into 3 groups, all ranging from 12 to 14 years of age, 27 of which had ADHD, 28 of which had ADHD and additional learning disabilities, and then a control group was used containing 29 students who had been undiagnosed with either ADD, ADHD, or learning disability. This study focused on hypermedia instruction tools versus the traditional method of teaching. So the addition of computer-based devices was designed to promote learning in education settings, and then compared to the usage of standard traditional methods. It was found to produce higher learning levels and retention, aid in long-term retention of material presented. It also allowed for achievements that of similar students without disability, and also produced a reduction in cognitive memory load. Additional related research found that online intervention using smartphone courses to improve attention and organizational skills for adults with ADHD, performed in Stockholm, Sweden, saw that after a 6-week support with a coach using Living Smart online course to organize everyday life, that 33% saw improvement in attentiveness. Here's a list of sites and resources from which material for this presentation was derived. Thank you for listening.